Now for my second function, for my second call, I want to make sure I'm keeping the minimum value here. This is the only area, as I mentioned before, we get a value. So this is the only part we can make a comparison of the minimum values, okay? So technically, this is the only way we could know if we have a minimum value at this point. So for that, we're gonna say self.auxiliaryStack.append, and here I can call the min function and say the min function technically is just going to take two values and compare which one its minimum value, which one is the smaller one between the two, right? It's a constant time call because it's only comparing two values that I'm providing already, okay? There's no operations that it's going to go through check any other values, or it's not going to interfere with my data structure alone. It's just taking those two values and comparing them, okay? So I'm going to say min value between the value I'm actually getting right here and the value that is in the auxiliary stack. So I'm going to say self.auxiliaryStack, and I want the value that's sitting on top of the stack, which is at -1, okay? So basically I'm saying here, append to the stack, you know, the minimum value between the actual value I'm getting right here and the value that's sitting on top of the stack. By the first iteration, when the auxiliary stack is empty, we have infinity. So whatever value we get, it's going to become our minimum value. Now after that, it's going to go in order and make sure that we only keep the minimum value here, okay? The pop operation, it's pretty straightforward. We just have to make sure that by the time we pop one element from one list, we also pop from the other list, because we have to keep track of, you know, if by the time we added -3 was the minimum number. If I pop -3 is not anymore in the stack. It's not the minimum number in the actual stack. Remember, one stack is just keeping track of the minimum values. So we cannot pop the number from the stack. If it is our minimum number, then it also has to go from the minimum stack because it's not present in the main stack anymore. So I hope that makes sense. So we're gonna save here self stack. Basically, we're just gonna pop. We just need to pop that number from there. And same thing for our main stack. We're gonna say self.auxiliaryStack.pop. And yeah, that's all that is. Now these two functions are different, okay? See here, we don't have to return anything. The pop function alone is going to return that element in case we need to store that element. And let's say, you know, if I need to, and I'm sure you guys know this, but if I need to see the number I just popped or save it for any other particular reasons, I can obviously say popped, and that number is going to be stored there. Now I don't have to return anything, so I simply just do my function like that. Now the top element in this stack, it's simply the number that's sitting on top of this stack, right? Because that's all we need.